Deloitte has focused really you've probably seen my colleague Scott Buckles. He did a presentation previously on Marketplace and talked about some of the positive applications, let's say, of quantum computing in terms of simulation and modeling, logistical type challenges and so on. I am the managing director within Deloitte, and I'm the US quantum cyber readiness lead. So my perspective is really looking at, much as Bill had indicated, preparing ourselves for the time at which quantum computers, as they mature and they become technologically more stable. Colin Soutar has done excellent work in that domain. I'm sure he'll talk about that later. If you look at the various timelines at play, one is, of course, the maturity of the computers themselves, Shor's algorithm, but you also have to look at, the possibility, as we understand, attackers today are stealing data on the premise that they will be able to break it tomorrow once those are available. Now, aggravating all of that as well is that actually implementing and updating to quantum-resistant cryptography will take organizations years, if not, decades in some cases, as we've heard it. So we prefer to think about it more as a risk management perspective rather than a specific date. I know there's been a date around Y2Q that's been thrown out there. We prefer to look at it as really understanding what the risk can be, what your data are, where they are, what crypto's in place, and how long it's likely to take you to update that crypto, be it on enterprise or in distributed devices. And so that's the perspective that we tend to take there. So to get to that point, as I try to advance the slide here, having some challenges. There we go. To get to that point, we see the first instance really around quantum resistant cryptography, or PQC as it's been known historically. That is, of course, running on classical technology, mathematically based, very much deterministic. And I think that's a key point. I was actually reflecting back, 100 years ago, there was a lot of discussion around deterministic classical physics versus quantum physics, and PQC really is a deterministic process. Other processes that are quantum based, we think will, take a little bit longer for people to understand. They're maturing. Later on, we do see positive application using artificial intelligence, machine learning, and we see a lot of optimism there, especially when distributed networks and sensors on the networks and so on are producing significant amounts of data that would need to be processed, by such devices. So what do we do about that then? Well, first of all, we have a suite of solutions. You'll get a link to that on the next page. But the other important thing that we've decided a few years ago was this field seems to be, there's a lot of conflation goes on in the field in terms of the applications of quantum, the security side, using quantum technologies. In fact, PQC, it's not a quantum technology, and yet it's got Q in the term. So we really try to get some clear, cogent messaging out there. And we partnered with the World Economic Forum over the last year. We've helped them stand up their quantum security initiative. The culmination of that was actually a report that came out last month. We provided our perspective on that report, pulling out the salient topics as we see them. That's the second link there. And then finally, a bit about our solutions and our offerings are presented there at the third link. With that, happy to entertain any questions in the Q&A and afterwards. Thank you very much, Mark and Crystal, for your organization and pulling all this together. Appreciate it.